We continue our series in Portugal, and here I am with my friend Francois Mahol. Francois, you had a very interesting comment that you made going back to the earthquake when the mayor said let's bury our dead, let's close the port, and let's focus on the next generation.
That's it.
Now you are an activist business leader in Brazil. What does that mean?
It means that somehow you have to face reality. So when you're going through tough times, you have to make decisions. And the decision that Marquês de Pombal took here in Portugal were very clear. First of all, close the port. Second, bury the dead. Third, save the children. Because children were the only ones that could guarantee long-time survival.
So we were talking over lunch about the necessary things that have to change in business, and we were talking about integrity. And one of the things we were talking about was the intellectual integrity.
That's it. You know, we have to take a firm stand on what we believe is right, and especially concerning our basic values. So why are we making this decision today? Why can't we do it in a more time, in a more reflected way? What conflicts of interest are we facing or avoiding here? We just had a very interesting story about some mining companies that are doing for 100 years extremely well, and then finally they decide to go to oil and they went bust. So why hell?
So as we look at the future of economics in the world going forward, what is the best advice we can give to a young CEO?
When you take a decision, put yourself in a timeline 10 years later, and then reflect if your decision was the right one. Because you see, don't take the decision on the heat of the moment. Don't take the decision on ego basis. Take a decision on long time frame.
Which is in keeping with my whole philosophy of what I do is right for me, what I do is right for my family. But truly, if we focus on what is right for the community and what is right for the next generation, as we look at our communities around the globe, whether it is Brazil, whether it is Portugal, South Africa or the United States, we really have to understand that we are all together in this economic situation, that governments and corporations have to change, and not just for the sake of the community, but also for the sake of future generations. Francois, keep up the great work you're doing in Brazil. Keep up the inspiration of trying to get organizations to look to the future. We appreciate what you do.
Neil, it's very good to be with you again some 7 years later on. And it's good to have you on the perspective, because at the end of the day, what really matters is what are you doing with your life. And what are you doing in your life, first thing is being honest to yourself, being friend and love your loved ones.
And going back to sort of following your passion and love, Francois and I met in St. Lucia. He was on his yacht, Darlene and I were on our yacht, and just be open to people, be open to possibilities. That's how we met. Francois came to dinner on our boat. We were two strange sailors, two different families in one port with a common interest, and we built upon that. And the sea does not distinguish between black and white, Brazilian or South African, rich or poor. The sea will make us equally as wet and take our lives like that. And one of the lessons that Francois and I have come to understand about the sea, it is not about where you are right now, but if there's a storm coming, you better prepare right now for the winds that are about to come. Shorten your sails, or when you're in calm conditions, do the necessary maintenance to prepare your vessel for going into the next weather conditions. And in the corporate arena, we have to take stock of where we are and prepare, not for what we are dealing with right now, but where we have to be positioned.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good.
I think I stopped it. Make sure.
Now with training, you can do a second one much better.